Axel in Motion podcast. My name is Rhapsody Taylor.
My name is Viola Taylor.
And we are the Taylor Sisters. All right. As you know, we're on Black History Month, and we're going to talk about Black dance pioneers and entertainers. We have 6 names today. The 3 that I have for today is Bill Bojangles, Dr. Pearl Primus, as well as Josephine Baker.
And the 3 I have today is Alvin Ailey, also Lauren Anderson, and Catherine Denham.
Yes. So let's start out with Bill Bojangles. He is one of the top tap dancers in the early 1900s. He has been so much of an impact in the tap community and has been one of the top paid entertainers to perform on minstrel shows and vaudeville, Broadway films. He's also performed with Shirley Temple, which is a high name in the industry of film. His style of tap dance is called flat-footed shuffling style, which is smooth in the way he taps. He's on the tap of his toes and is very cheerful with his tap moves. So I've taken tap before, and definitely is not easy, as you have to use your feet, and it's different rhythms, different sounds that you make. But to be very smooth without, missing a beat or hitting too hard, and also being cheery is very difficult. So for him to be one of the first Black dance tappers, because he is the father of tap dance, this was successful because he was one of the first Black dance entertainers. During a time where there was racism and then slavery just ended, and he's coming out, and then before it was Master Juba, which is the first tap dance, and then came Bill Bojangles.
Okay. So the first person I want to talk about is Catherine Mary Denham. She's the founder of the Denham technique, which is the technique of strength. She's known as the Queen Mother of Black dance. She was an American dancer, choreographer, anthropologist, and social activist. Denham had one of the most successful dance careers of the 20th century and had her own dance company for many years. Catherine Denham has inspired me with all the stuff that she's done for Black dance. So that's Catherine Denham.
Okay. Mama Catherine Denham. We could talk about some of her experiences, Viola, because I had some teachers that have trained with Catherine Denham herself. By the way, I have been blessed with Catherine Denham, but I was really small, and I was in Washington, D.C. with our mother, Shantae Taylor. So she was in the class, and I was with her, and they asked her to demonstrate the Young Baloo, in the center. And Miss Catherine Denham herself, I believe she was 80 or 90 years old, and she pointed her out and was like, "That's how it's done."
That was huge for us. So that experience was amazing. And to be able to train in the Denham technique was also amazing. So yeah.
Yeah, the Denham technique is no joke. It's
hard. It's hard, y'all. It's very hard.
Yes, but also spiritual and nourishing for the dancer, technique. It is African and Caribbean styles and influences in her technique. There's discipline, there's strength, so that's all that's incorporated. So if you have to hear about a class, please take it.
Yes.
And also be certified. We have Miss Josephine Baker, who was born in St. Louis. Josephine Baker, she grew up in a household that was, of course, but then over time, she became a major star. How she started was she performed in many minstrel shows as well as vaudeville, and traveled all across the country. She was very heavy on the topic of race happening during that time period, and the mistreatment of Black people and entertainers. So that devastated her. So what Josephine Baker did, she moved to Paris and became a major star than she was in the USA because they appreciated her and the way that she moved, her sensuality, having a little bit of that jazz, that spark. And one of her famous dances that she did in Paris was the banana dance. And she became a fashion icon, a head performer, a singer. It was her characteristics and how she presented herself, how she wears her feathers and pearls and outfits, her hair. She became a major star. She was very heavy on the civil rights movement. She was part of the NAACP and helped out with whatever organizations that they had here in America because she supported equal rights for Black people. The NAACP honored her for every year celebrating that day of Josephine Baker. And that is amazing.
So my next person I want to talk about is the one and only Alvin Ailey. So Alvin Ailey was an African-American dancer, choreographer, director, and activist who founded the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. They have a huge facility in New York. His work fused theater, modern dance, ballet, jazz. He created hopeful choreography that continued to spread global awareness of Black life in America. He choreographed the amazing Revelations, which was recognized as one of the most popular and most performed ballets in the world. So Alvin Ailey has truly been an inspiration to my dance career and me being a dancer. You know, he's huge in just dance, period, overall. So, yes, that's Alvin Ailey.
We just talked about Black dance pioneers and entertainers. We talked about Alvin Ailey. But I had a few questions about Alvin Ailey about tell us about the Horton technique and also I'm sure Lester Horton as well.
So, the Horton technique was created by Lester Horton, and Alvin Ailey was trained under Lester Horton. So that's how he was able to use the Horton technique in all of his choreography and his teaching. And I think what's really great is that right now I'm being trained by someone who was trained by Alvin Ailey. So it's like generation passed down. So yeah.
And yeah, the Horton technique is no joke either. Just like how the technique is.
It's definitely one of my favorites.
Once you master Horton technique, you're able to actually feel and see the work in your body from Alvin Ailey or Lester Horton and to tell that story throughout the technique. So, okay, speaking of Alvin Ailey, our next pioneer, Dr. Pearl Primus. She is a dancer, choreographer, anthropologist. She wasn't a dancer at first. She was first studying anthropology. She went to the Hunter School College that's in New York. And from there, she wanted to pursue her career in the medical field. So when she wanted to be in the medical field, they had discriminated her because of her race. And that was what made her feel as though, this is not right. I don't want to pursue this if everywhere I go, I'm being discriminated because of the color of my skin. Things did change over time where she was in or dance organization that gave her scholarship money, and she was able to dance some of her first solos as well as learn modern dance. She was also funded to study anthropology and African dance, going to the continent Africa and studying African dance and bringing it to the USA. So she was one of the top pioneers to bring African dance into the USA. She also created a technique called the Primus technique, where she made modern and African dance together. And she's worked with also Balatunji, who is known for a song called Fanga Alapia, Fanga. And she made the dance movements Fanga as well as helping with the song. So Dr. Pearl Primus has done so, even though she was discriminated from being a physician in the medical field, still was able to holistically use Black dance in a way where it's healing in another way than just of the medical field. From there, her work, her choreography has been placed in many Black dance companies, Broadway stages, many parts of the art. So that is amazing that she was able to turn that around and still is a legend to this day, you know?
Yeah. Well, the next dancer I want to talk about is Lauren Anderson. She is an African American ballet dancer and is a former principal dancer with the Houston Ballet. In 1990, she was one of the first African American ballerinas to become a principal for a major dance company. So that's huge because there's not a lot of Black ballerinas being able to do something like that, especially during that time, because it was just starting up to, allow Black ballerinas to come and be in major companies. So that's huge and is an important milestone in the American ballet history. So she has opened so many doors and paved so many ways for African American ballerinas today. And I'm grateful and honored. Me and Rhapsody actually got to meet her. Where was it? At IBD? Yeah, International Association of Blacks in Dance. So that was huge to be able to be in the same room as her, to hear her experience, to just hear her speak about her experience of being a Black ballerina, and again just being in a room with a legend was truly amazing. So yes, Lauren Anderson. Mhm.
Yes. We've talked about so many Black dance pioneers and entertainers. Today, they have done amazing stuff in the arts as well as the medical field, as well as being the first of doing everything. And that's what it's all about when it comes to acting. Are you going to be the next Captain Dunham? Are you going to be the next Alvin Ailey? Are you going to be the next Lauren Anderson? So if it wasn't for these people, we wouldn't have any of these famous Black dance entertainers or dancers or pioneers to this day. So it is very important to research and to remember our roots and our history so that we can apply that to everything that we do in our life. So, and it's very important because they don't teach some of this stuff in our school system and also misinformation. So do your research. Like, this is very important for you as a Black artist, as a Black entertainer, Black businesswoman, to research.
Yeah, to know who came before you.
Yeah. Well, that concludes our podcast for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, subscribe to our channel, follow Jersey.org, and we will see you for our next episode. All right.